So this is my second pair of horror shoes, and I've used a slightly different method this time. So I started off using these blue second-hand shoes. They're a size 8, and I'm just randomly putting on different colours from an old eyeshadow palette. I've used some red and pink, a bit of purple, so it might make it look a little bit bruised. And then I've used liquid latex, and I've used this on children's faces before, so I thought I'd have a go this way. So I've just put in thin layers of liquid latex on. I started with a brush, but in the end it turned out that it was much better to use my fingers to do it. So once I've put a thin layer in the desired area, I've then ripped up some toilet paper, or you can use tissues, and then stuck that over the top, and then put generous amounts, don't know why that looks a bit slow, and then put generous amounts of more liquid latex over the top, and then layered up layered it up to get thicker and thicker. It's very bizarre how it's come out that way. I don't know what happened there. So, the lumpier it is, the better, because you want it to look like skin, and skin is not smooth and has blemishes. I don't know how long this is going to take. There we go. So, that's a bit the same as well. I don't know what I did when I was taking these videos. So, as you can see, I'm putting more liquid latex on with this very slow brush stroke. So next I've dried each layer with a hairdryer to quicken up the drying process, because it takes a little while. And then once that's dry, I've added another layer and another layer, and you get the gist. So the idea is that I'm going to cut into this and then prise it back to make it look like a flap of skin. So I've got another layer there, some more liquid latex, which is really easy to buy at this time of year, but I bought mine from Amazon because I'm lazy and I don't go out. So there we go. So smooth it all over where you want it to go. Be generous with it. And then some more layers, and it's, if you try and rip them off and they look all jaggedy, that's the best kind that you want, really. So as I say, I'm used to doing this on children's faces. I've done various, like a zombie makeup, and I've got a picture somewhere. I went to a party and I gave myself claw marks, because I went as Red Riding Hood. And I really do enjoy doing this. So once it was all dry, I used the same eyeshadow palette and filled it in to try to give it the same colour as the rest of the shoe. I was still having that problem with camera angles, so all these I've done with holding the camera, so that's why it's not very good. And then here I've gone in with the scissors to, just be careful to the first incision so that you don't cut into the shoe itself. It's really hard to do one thing. So, taking the scissors, cut up through the latex. It's not hard to do, it's just my scissors are very good. So you want to cut up where you want it to look like the skin is missing, and then slightly pull it back. And you don't want to pull it too far, but I did, give it a lot of room. So you might have to cut a bit back, but you want jaggedy, uneven edges. So there's both. Oh, they do remind me of something else, but I better not say. So then get a black paint, because you want it to look... I always do a black right in the centre of any skin folds. You want it to look really deep and nasty. And then I just added to a red paint. You can't really tell here, but there's 3 different shades of, the deepest, darkest red. And then as we get to the higher edges, I've used a brighter red, just to try and really make it look as oozing and gory as possible. And I knew I was going to be putting some fake blood over the outside of this anyway, so even if you think that's a bit too red, well, you can cover it up, or just darken it and paint that on over the top. So what I did originally, what I'd intended to do, is I made holes down the sides, and I bought some garden twine, and the idea was to thread it through. But even though I put wax on the end of the yarn so that it wasn't fraying, I just couldn't get it through the holes that I'd made. So in the end, I had to cut it into... I did three bits for each shoe, and I glued it on. And then I thought, well, I'll just strategically place the fake blood so that hopefully it looks like it's going through the skin. So you'll have to let me know if you think that's how well it turned out. These were very fiddly. It took ages and ages to... It was all right getting them to stick on one side, but when I was trying to stick them on the other side, they were a real pain. So it took me a while, but just persevere, and the fabric glue dries clear, so I didn't have to worry about having great big blobs of white on it. So I think it looks quite gory. So I put the fake blood on. I don't know what happened to that bit of video, but I decided that the shoe, you couldn't really see around the sides of the shoe. There seemed to be like a real gap between where I'd put the liquid latex on and the rest of the shoe. So I got some more liquid latex, and I used this stippling sponge all over the shoe, because when it dried it made it look really bumpy, and I thought it made it look more like skin. And then I spread a little bit more of it's a congealed gel, blood gel, and it does dry, and it dries, and it looks, I think it still looks shiny and wet when it's dried, but you know, a good couple of days to get it nice and dry. So, and then I just dabbed the fake blood on, and I will cover these in a sealant. So there you go. This is if Ed Gein made shoes, he'd make shoes like these. So thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, and join our giveaway, because you could win this pair of shoes. Thank you.